Good afternoon. I'm John Halverson, and we have prepared for your viewing pleasure a State of the District presentation via webcast. This is a new experiment for many of us, so I hope you will bear with us as we attempt to inform and communicate with you all at the same time in this manner. Today we want to update you very briefly on 6 important issues. Laura Wharf will briefly talk about where we are with professional learning communities and give you some advance notice about some staff development opportunities this summer. Next, Yvonne Perez, our new Assistant Superintendent for Business Services and Facilities, will share with you where we are on our current and future modernization projects. Marty Reed will talk about program improvement and accountability efforts in the Sylvan District. John Patton has a quick update on some innovative efforts underway in the area of technology. Deborah Fusco will share our current plans for staffing for next year. Michelle Berries will be sharing information related to the changes next year in special education. And finally, I'll be back with a quick rundown of important budgeting decisions made by our board in the last couple of weeks. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about how this form of communication works for all of you. But before we begin, here are some words of welcome from our current board president, Terry Ann Zeke.
Hi, I'm Terry Ann Zeke, president of the Sylvan School Board. I'd like to welcome you to our first ever webcast of the State of the District. We have lots of great information to share with you in the next few minutes. Better communication is something we're always striving for, so hopefully you will find this webcast informative. Thanks for joining us today, but most of all, thank you for your dedication to the students of the Sylvan family.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Wharf, and I'm honored to serve as your Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. I'm going to share with you some updates on where we are in our district-wide implementation of professional learning communities, as well as some advance information about summer professional development opportunities. An African proverb states, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others." I believe this is an excellent encapsulation of why we have intentionally moved into a professional learning community model. The rigor in our academic content standards, combined with the increasing complexity of our student population, has increased the demand on us as professionals. Successful organizations respond to these situations by pooling the best resource they have, their people, to work together to continue to provide the highest quality of service. Our profession is no different. And as educators, we have the added privilege of being engaged in a lifelong, meaningful task. But we cannot work successfully in isolation. It takes all of us to produce the best in us. Another popular axiom is, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. This is demonstrably true for us as well. Though it's not the only important measure of our work, scores from our California Standards Test over the past 5 years, in both language arts and math, and in all grades, show that our growth is essentially stagnant. Worse, this stagnant growth continues as the proficiency requirements have continued to grow. I'm pleased to be able to let you know that all 13 of our schools have put into place the framework for professional learning communities. All schools have collaboration in place, and all have begun the process of living out the 3 big ideas of professional learning communities. A focus on learning, because the purpose of our schools is to ensure that all students learn at high levels. A focus on collaboration, because helping all students requires a collaborative and collective effort. And the third focus, a focus on results, because in order to assess our effectiveness in helping all students learn, we must focus on results, evidence of student learning, and further use those results to both inform and improve our professional practice and respond to students who need intervention or enrichment. Our collaborative teams ask the 4 essential questions. What is it that we want our students to learn? What standards and skills, etc.? How will we know when they've learned it? Through what types of assessments? and to what proficiency level? What do we do when they haven't learned it? How do we intervene and provide extra time and support? And what do we do if they already know it? How do we provide enrichment and the challenge support that meets their needs? The structure that we're building with our professional learning communities strategically places us to meet the challenges of the next few years. By 2014-2015, when the Common Core standards go live, we will have had the opportunity to work with them fully, develop assessments that match the new requirements both of the content of the standards and the method of assessment as anticipated by the Smarter Balance Consortium. Our professional learning community structure provides the framework for us to study these issues, as well as to engage in the creation of new assessments, share and practice new instructional strategies and practices, and further hone our craft. To assist us moving forward, we are planning a series of professional development opportunities. Final arrangements are still being made for these, but you can anticipate sessions in working with the Common Core standards to develop curriculum maps in language arts and math, training in the instruction of writing via the 6 traits model, a refresher course in the Houghton Mifflin materials for those who've not yet had an opportunity to attend such a course, and work with the Dr. Marzano tools on learning objectives and related instructional strategies. Information about these summer institutes and other possibilities will be made available by the end of March via an email brochure. Though some will be of necessity grade and or content specific, and they may be limited in capacity, they will all be available on a first-come, first-registered basis, with a daily stipend provided. On behalf of all of the students in the Sylvan Union School District, please accept my gratitude for the work that you do, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Pettis. I am the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. In 2006, voters approved the sale of $40 million to build new schools and modernize existing schools. At the time, the district was experiencing growth and existing schools needed work. Since 2006, the economy went into a tailspin. New home construction for the most part ceased and home values dropped. The district's ability to sell bonds is predicated by the assessed valuation of homes and businesses in the district in proportion to existing obligation. The district has $6 million of bonds to sell from the previously voter-approved $40 million. Because of the decrease in home values, it may be many years before the district recovers the capacity to service new obligations. The state also experienced the economic crisis, but at a much larger level. The district is waiting on reimbursement for the state match portion of the project on Stockard Coffee, C.F. Brown, and Stanford. Although there has been an economic crisis throughout the entire country, the Sylvan District has remained committed to completing projects. New land was purchased in 2006 to plan for growth. The property cost $2.4 million and will provide the land needed to build a new school when the district once again experiences growth. A new multi-purpose room and classroom building was built at Somerset Middle School. The school also received a new roof, major renovations were made to the locker room and gym, the heating and cooling system was upgraded, ADA requirements were upgraded, and a new well and pump was installed, and the classrooms were given a fresh look with paint and new floor services throughout the site. The last task is to move portables off the site and restore the playground area, which will occur over the summer. The project was funded with different capital outlay sources, but about $9 million of bond funds was expended on the project. The Stockard Coffee, C.F. Brown, and Stanford projects are substantially complete, with final completion occurring at Stockard Coffee and Stanford during spring break. These schools all received a new roof, new heating and cooling system, walls were constructed in classrooms that didn't have them, restrooms were brought into ADA compliance, and classrooms received new paint and floor services. The schools also received technology upgrades, which included mounted interactive projectors and wireless capabilities. Each project cost between $3 and $4 million. Sherwood and Woodrow are under design. Final construction documents are being completed, and both designs will be sent to the state for review by the end of May. The balance of the bond fund is approximately $3 million. After the district receives architect estimates of the design, district personnel will decide on the feasibility of moving forward with either Sherwood or Woodrow in phases until the expected state funds are received on projects that have already been completed. I know we all look forward to the facility improvements that will enhance the educational experience for our students. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Marty Reed, Director of Categorical Programs. This afternoon I will be talking about Title I Program Improvement and Title III Accountability. If a school or district receives federal Title I funding, we are required to meet certain accountability targets. The Academic Program Index, API, and the Adequate Yearly Progress, AYP, are the sets of targets that we are required to make each year based on state testing results. To stay out of program improvement, all statistical subgroups, as well as the All Students group, must meet both English Language Arts and Mathematics No Child Left Behind Adequate Yearly Progress targets and the Academic Program Index target of 600. In addition, we also entered Federal Title III Year 2 Accountability. This is a direct result of our English Learner Statistical Subgroup not meeting the No Child Left Behind annual Adequate Yearly Progress targets. First, I'll talk about school Title I program improvement. Woodrow Elementary School is currently in Year 4 of Title I program improvement. Although 3 of the 4 statistical subgroups at Woodrow showed growth in 2011, there was one statistical subgroup in both English Language Arts and Math that did not. This is why they entered Year 4. At this date, the Woodrow District School Liaison Team has met 2 times to rewrite their school plan, which is part of the restructuring process required in Year 4. The Woodrow team, which is made up of teachers, site administrators, district administrators, parent, board member, SEA, and CSEA representatives, chose option 5, which is major restructuring of the school. The team felt very strongly that the current teachers at Woodrow have gone through extensive training and built a community that is continually improving and successfully working together to address students' academic needs. The new school plan will further refine their actions. Sherwood Elementary School entered Year 1 of Title I program improvement for the 2011-2012 school year. Sherwood rewrote their school plan this year to address areas of need and are actively analyzing data on an ongoing basis. Now let's talk about district program improvement. Sylvan Union School District entered Year 1 Title I district program improvement this school year. Although we have consistently met the API target of 800 or more, in 2010 and 2011, the district's statistical subgroups did not all meet the adequate yearly progress targets, thus putting us into program improvement. Entering program improvement required us to write an addendum to our local educational agency plan, or the LEAP, or rewrite the entire plan. We chose to rewrite the local plan so it would be based on an analysis of our current data. In December 2011, the district site liaison team made up of teachers, parent, board member, site and district administrators, SEA and CSEA representatives met to write the local plan. The result is a document that provides us direction in increasing student achievement. We submitted the local plan to the California Department of Education in January 2012. Upon submission, we are required to begin implementing the action steps. When school sites begin to write their 2012-2013 school plan for student achievement, the site plans will write action steps that are directly tied to the local plan. The local plan is located on the Sylvan District website. I am very proud of the Sylvan Union School District staff. You continue to work hard to support our students so they can be successful. It is important that we continue working together to assure student success.
Good afternoon. I'm John Patton, the Director of Technology. I'd like to share with you the status of a few of our current projects and plans for the coming months in the Technology Department. First, Google Apps for Education. We're currently evaluating Google Apps for Education. A group of teachers, administrators, and staff are currently using Google Apps for email and calendaring. You might be asking yourself, why move away from Microsoft Outlook? Google Apps is more than just email and calendaring. Here are the main points. Point 1. Google Apps' power comes from its ability to share resources, documents, presentations, drawings, etc. Its strength lies in its ability to share and allow people to share and collaborate. Point 2. It's cloud-based. What you store in Google Apps in your Google Apps account is available to you any place you have network access. That could be the home, the coffee shop, or Starbucks for that matter. Point 3. It only requires a web browser. There are no support issues, no servers required, no software licenses required, nothing to install or update, and it's hardware agnostic. Point 4. Great price point. Google Apps for Education is free to the K-12 education institution. Second key item, ARIES and the ARIES ABI Parent Portal. As you are probably aware, our school board directed us to provide a unified strategy for communicating to parents about their children's progress. This task was delivered to us at the most challenging period in the Sylvan School District history. Fortunately, we have a student information system that provided this capability built in. This year, all middle school teachers and a few elementary school teachers took up the challenge of learning to use the gradebook and the parent portal. Any change is not easy, but the teachers and staff at the middle schools have done a fantastic job of accomplishing the first half of the board's directive. They accomplished this through their Sylvan tenacity and by supporting each other when questions arose. The second part of ABI Parent Portal is the rollout of this tool to the elementary school sites. Though we have some individual elementary school teachers using the ABI portal with their parents now, starting next year, we'll be systematically addressing multiple issues at the elementary school with ARIES. First, new requirements by the state and CalPADS related to elementary school reporting. There'll be more information regarding those requirements coming out from Marty and Laura at a future date. Second, standards-based report cards using ARIES. In order to better communicate with parents on how their children are doing in school, we require a report card tool that is more integrated with the student information system and parent portal. Starting next year, we'll be piloting the ARIES standard-based report card and the ABI gradebook at select elementary schools with a district-wide elementary deployment later in the 2012-2013 school year. By utilizing the ARIES gradebook and report card at the elementary school level, we'll be able to simplify the process of grade reporting at the elementary school level. And finally, Data Director has been a struggle this year, and we are actively looking at alternatives for the near future. Possible solutions include ORS, a new product from ARIES called Analytics, and the potential for utilizing the new Common Core assessment tool created by the Smarter Balance wing of the Common Core Standards Group. With the adoption of the Common Core Standards nationwide and the proposed Smarter Balance assessments, we want to position ourselves to be ready for these changes and are actively seeking solutions that are compatible. More information related to the evaluation of the assessment tools will be coming out of the Curriculum and Instruction Office shortly. And finally, our monthly technology leadership meetings have been the forum where progress on these and other initiatives are shared. Your site representatives are the conduit for sharing and communicating the status of these projects back to the site. Be sure you have a team member on the committee and an alternate in case your representative can't be at a meeting. Meetings are held at Sylvan Elementary School the first Thursday of every month. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Deborah Fusco. As Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, it's my responsibility to determine staffing for the 2012-2013 school year. I'll be sharing with you recent decisions that are having a direct impact on staffing decisions. During the budget study meeting last week, the board approved the recommendation to keep staffing as close as possible to status quo, while staying in alignment with student enrollment. Along with this direction, there are no plans to reduce programs such as art, music, and library. Due to changes in student enrollment at some sites, there were adjustments that needed to be made for the upcoming school year, which may have displaced staff. Currently, we are working on placing displaced teachers into open positions within the district. One interdependent factor in this process is ensuring our student enrollment supports the number of teaching positions. This year's kindergarten enrollment numbers are drastically reduced compared to the 2011-2012 enrollments. This will result in the possibility of not replacing positions opened by retirements in kindergarten to ensure we have a place for everyone. It is my intent to work closely with staff to ensure teachers are promptly placed either through internal moves, intent requests if able to grant, or by district-initiated moves within the next few weeks. I'd like to elaborate on intent requests. We do our best to grant intent requests when possible. However, this is not always possible and solely dependent on openings in the district. In the event the district does not have vacancies after everything has settled, or does have vacancies, those postings will be posted by April 1st, 2012. Please feel free to contact me at any time if you have questions regarding the process. Thank you for your patience during this time. I know for staff that is changing assignments, this time can be unsettling, and I will do my best to keep you informed along the way.
Hi, my name is Michelle Barris. I'm the Director of Special Education. I would like to share with you some of the changes in special education for the 12-13 school year. We will be expanding our existing programs and services by taking back 3 special day classes of students with autism in grades K through 5. We are also looking at providing special transportation for students within district boundaries. These changes will enable us to increase the effectiveness of our services to Sylvan students and decrease encroachment on the general fund. Thank you.
Hello folks, it's Sunday evening and trying to get this recorded for your staff meeting for tomorrow. Thanks for hanging in there with us this afternoon. I'm going to end the screencast with a quick update on the budget. So just when we thought things couldn't get any crazier, it did. I used to say that school budgeting was convoluted at best. Now really there are no words to describe the ambiguity associated with what's going on. The governor is basing his budget on a November ballot, as you know, and even he can't decide what that ballot's going to say. I'm sure you're all watching the news on this, so the best thing I can say is stay tuned, let your legislators know what you think. So despite all this, our board has made some critical decisions in an attempt to sustain the quality of education we can offer next year. First, we're going to plan on spending down our 20% reserve. We are fortunate to have it, but as you know, it came at a cost. It came at a cost from previous year budgets. So this is going to allow us to do a few important things. First of all, to avoid layoffs as we have done in years past. The fact is that we do have a number of retirements, which will help as well, which, by the way, congratulations to all you retirees. But one caveat to this is that we did have to give layoff notices to temporary supplemental teachers in the 11th hour. Now, this was due to a March 1st appellate court decision. And that decision created a definition for what a temporary teacher is. Temporary teachers are usually given a 1-year contract, but this year we needed to give them notice in the event that this decision holds on the next court level. So the second thing we're able to do is to keep all of our instructional days for another year. This means that we're not going to be asking for additional furlough days for next year. And finally, we plan to retain the same level of support services, in particular our valued classified staff and specialty teachers, counselors, nurses, etc. Now, while we're planning for the worst case scenario, which is the initiative, not passing, it doesn't come without a cost. And especially for the 2013-14 school year, it's going to require us to make some tough decisions. So if you have some questions about this budget and what's coming forward, please be sure to send me an email, or if you'd like a copy of our ongoing budget. It does change on a regular basis based upon what's in the news. Send me an email and I'll get back to you right away. So in closing, it's March 19th. As you watch this, hold on to your hats. The end of May, the end of school will be here before you know it. And so I'd like to conclude by thanking all of you for everything that you do every day on behalf of our students. Your dedication makes all the difference in the world to these children. So P.S. I would like to know what you think about screencasts. While it does save some time, it really has to work for all of us. So please send me an email if you would, or maybe an anonymous note. Let me know what you think. Your feedback is important. So have a great evening and thank you.